One of the most common questions we get is, hey, if I'm doing this with my girlfriend, are we going too far? If I do that with my boyfriend, are we going too far? The problem is really not that you're going too far. The problem is that you're not going nearly far enough, because the gift of our sexuality is not meant to be given in bits and pieces. Like, girls, don't just give your body to your boyfriend on the night of homecoming because you dated for 8 months and you hope he's gonna stick around through college. No, don't just give him your body temporarily. Give him your body, your heart, your soul, your children. Let him give you his last name. Let him give you his paychecks. Let him give you a house. Let him give you every breath he takes until the day that he dies. This is what's meant by a total gift of self. And if that's too much for the guy that you're with, then it seems like he might want something other than the gift of you, maybe just the gift of pleasure. And so the problem is not that our desires are too strong. More often than not, our desires are kind of too weak. In fact, if you look at what the wedding vows are supposed to be with sexuality, free, total, faithful, and life-giving, well, what happens when you turn that upside down? You get our modern society. I mean, look at sex today. It's not free. It's paid for in prostitution, it's demanded in rape, it's addictions. It's not a free gift. It's not a total gift. It's hooking up, friends with benefits. It's not a faithful gift. You got infidelity and cheating. It's not a fruitful gift. It's deliberately sterilized, contracepted, and aborted. It's almost as if God had this beautiful vision of love, this beautiful picture, and the world just turns it backwards. And to pull out even just one or two of these pieces is like pulling out a leg of a chair. And look how it works with different sexual acts. Look at premarital sex, okay? Is it a free gift? Well, more often than not, it's dictated by a lot of hormones. Is it a total gift? Well, we hope it works out, but it might not. Is it a faithful gift? Is it a life-giving gift? And more often than not, the couples are scared to death to get pregnant. And so premarital sex misses the point of the wedding vows. You could also consider the problem with something like pornography. Is it free? Well, no, it's usually paid for. It's usually dictated by hormones and addictions. Is it a total gift of self? Well, no, nobody's giving themselves in pornography. You're not even dealing with the real woman. You're dealing with a piece of paper of a picture of her. You're dealing with pixels on a TV screen or a laptop. It's not faithful. She's not any more faithful to me than she is to 10 million other guys lusting after her. Is it fruitful? Obviously not. It's totally sterile. In fact, C.S. Lewis had said that it's a pretty unfortunate expression when we say that a man who's lusting after a woman wants a woman. He said a woman is precisely what he does not want. The woman is just the means by which he's trying to get what he truly wants. And he said his real level of love for her can be gauged by how much interest he has in her after he gets what he wants. And he said, a person does not keep the carton after they smoke a pack of cigarettes. And he said, when a person lusts, they don't want truly a woman. But with love, you truly desire your beloved and not merely the pleasure that she can give to you. And a lot of people think, well, I'll just throw it away when I get married. It's all going to be good because, marriage will be the fulfillment of that in the end. Dude, marriage is not the fulfillment of porn. Porn is the distortion of all human love. Look at other sexual acts, such as masturbation. Obviously, it's not free, total, faithful, or life-giving. It misses it on all 4 accounts. You could look something like a contraception or birth control. Is it a total gift? No, you hold back your parenthood. Is it a fruitful gift? No, it's deliberately contracepted and sterilized. And people for centuries have been trying to separate what God has joined, making love with making life, trying to separate the two of these. They did this thousands of years ago. Ancient cultures used to fumigate a woman's uterus with smoke so she wouldn't have children, to bind her uterus tightly, have her swallowing potions of sterility. It's like they didn't even care about the woman's health. It's the same today. Birth control pills increase your risk of getting breast cancer. When a woman takes birth control, she has over 150 physiological changes in her body. Her cornea of her eye gets steeper, and one study said women on birth control blink 32% more often than girls not on birth control. I've said that at high school sometimes, and you look around and girls are looking up, look, she's on birth control. The girl's like, no, I'm not, stop, guys, what are you doing? Stop looking. The fact that this is not how our bodies are supposed to function. God has already created your body perfectly, and we shouldn't look at pregnancy as some kind of disease. And some people will say, well, you can't be naive. Teenagers today, they're gonna do it anyway. You need to tell them to use protection, have safe sex. Do you realize how degrading this is to women? Telling them that they're having safe sex as long as they don't get pregnant or get some sexually transmitted disease? Do you know a woman happens to be more than her sexual organs? And safe sex reduces it to that. as long as we protect that part of her, she's safe. No, she's not. She has a heart, she has a soul. If you really care about the woman, protect the entire person, and safe sex is not gonna do that. And another tough moral issue to tackle is that of homosexuality, because if the sexual act is supposed to be free, total, faithful, and fruitful, or life-giving, or ordered towards having children, homosexuality, obviously those acts are not ordered towards the creation of children. You can't make a total gift of your body to another. And so what are we to say? If you're a person like me who has friends who have homosexual attractions, I mean, what are they to do? Is there a place for them within the church? Well, absolutely. The world will tell them you only got two options. You know, you need to either hide in the closet, be out of fear that if anybody knew your real identity, they would hate you and be bigoted against you. Or, if you don't like that, then come out of the closet, embrace your sexual identity, and do whatever it is you choose to do. And the church says no. There happens to be a third option, which means you acknowledge that you have same-sex attractions. You can share that information with whoever you choose, and you don't need to be ashamed of who you're attracted to, because it's not like that's something that's entirely under our control. What we are in control of is what we do with those attractions. Now, Mother Teresa was getting interviewed on all kinds of different moral issues, and someone said to her, "What about the homosexuals and the homosexuals?" And she stopped, and she said, "I don't like the word homosexual." And they're, "Oh, Mother Teresa hates gays." And she said, no. From now on, you are going to refer to them as friends of Jesus. Now go on. And they said, okay, well, with regard to the friends of Jesus here in Calcutta, but what a beautiful way to look at them, that they're just like us with all of our struggles, with all of our brokenness, all the difficulty we all have trusting in God's plan for our lives. And so when it comes to homosexuality, the whole idea of chastity by the world is not even offered to them as an option to find fulfillment. Because in the end, to tell these people, look, I love you, I'm tolerant, you can do whatever you want, this is a false form of compassion to lead people to believe that they're going to find ultimate fulfillment by just giving into their instincts instead of following the will of God. And this is a difficult thing for them, the difficult thing for us. But if we truly love them, we'll call them to practice this virtue, and within it they can find freedom and peace. In fact, I knew a guy who lived an actively gay life for years. And he said after years of that lifestyle, it dawned on him that he was not homosexual. He said, you know what? I discovered I was homo-emotional. He said I was longing to be held by a man, to be affirmed by a man, to give him the attention and the approval, the affection that I just never got from my own father. And he said all the world taught me to do was sexualize my problems and look for the solution there. But now that he's practicing the virtue of chastity and purity, he's found real fulfillment. And I'm not going to imply from that anybody who has homosexual attractions has a terrible relationship with their father. I mean, obviously that would be a stretch, but in the end, we are in control of how we choose to live. And God calls these individuals to a life of purity, and we better love them, we better respect them, we better treat them with dignity. And part of that dignity is calling them to live in the image and likeness of God. So in the end, the Christian sexual idea of morality is not about saying a bunch of no's. Ultimately, it's about giving an emphatic yes to God's plan for our lives. To really say, Lord, are you Lord of my entire life? Because if you are, then I'm going to trust you and follow your will. Because in the end, look, we're made in the image and likeness of God. We're not like the animals. They have no control of whether or not they obey their instincts to fulfill their nature. We're not like that. I mean, you don't expect a dog to act in a moral way. It's ridiculous. It's not like you have some dog during mating season sitting there thinking, now wait a minute, you know, does this Rottweiler already have a girlfriend? Is this even the right dog for me? What would this dog's mom think? You know, am I ready for 14 puppies? I mean, it's laughable because we know they're not capable of living a moral life, but we're different. We're made in the image and likeness of God, and if we live like that and we love like that, we'll have peace like nothing the earth can offer us.